Being that I hunt a lot of restricted public land, I don't always have the privilege of cutting shooting lanes, so on the occasions when I do happen to have that luxury, I make sure to take advantage. Last year I acquired 2 of the extendable Hooyman saws, both a 5-footer and a 10-footer, thinking the 10 would be perfect for late winter, early spring scouting, and the 5 could come in handy on new sits throughout the season. The saw itself will easily fit in my pack. It came in really handy last year up north when hunting spruce trees whose branches were just a little bit too thick for ratcheting pruning shears. Whether or not I bring the 5-foot extension depends on where I'm going. If I'm sneaking close to a bed on an area that I've scouted previously, I'll leave it at home. If I'm headed out for an all-day sit in the rut, I'll bring the extension, just in case I decide to improvise and move trees throughout the day. The fit and feel is nice. There are certainly some plastic components, but I think they're unlikely to break if used as intended. Make sure the tabs are located right over the holes and don't try to force them down. The extension mechanism is really self-explanatory. The saws don't bend or bow during use, even with a 10-footer at full extension. As far as the blade itself, it's just as good or better than any handsaw I've used in the past, even during my summer's landscaping and brush clearing during college. And I think one of the nice things is that if the blade ever does become dull, I've seen replacements for around $15. Here are some of the things I've learned while using the extension saw. The angle that you hold the saw makes a difference in cutting ease. As you can see, trying to cut a branch almost straight up is tough because there's little pressure holding the teeth against the wood. But as I walk to the uphill side of the tree, you get a little bit of aid from gravity and can focus more on just the sawing motion. Another thing is that it's nearly impossible to cut long, narrow branches out away from their base. All they do is flex when you try to cut them. There's still 2 things you can do with an extension saw like this one though. The first thing to try, especially if the wood is dry, is to swat at the branch. Often the impulse of the narrow blade hitting it will snap the branch on the first try, much easier than trying to saw it. The other thing you can do, especially if the branch is pretty green yet, is to use the teeth of the saw to pull the branch down so you can grab it with your hand. Then reach back up and saw it. Overall, I've been very happy with both of the saws so far. The 10 is absolutely awesome to have for scouting trips. So if you hunt a lot of the same land and scout it every spring or summer to prep all your spots, a 10-footer by itself is a great buy in my opinion. The 5-footer is okay. It's a little bit short for scouting use, but it can make a great pack stowaway under the right hunting conditions and you need to make some trims during a hunt. And of course, with either the 5-footer or the 10-footer, the folding saw is removable and interchangeable. Hope that helps you guys out on whether or not to make a purchase. If you have any questions about the saws or ideas for other product reviews you'd like to see, leave them in the comments down below.